I wasn't planning on doing your reading right now. I just finished a collective reading, but I started getting the messages for you and I pulled some cards. So we're going to get in and see what Spirit wants to say to you because the message is right here. So I got ascending for the theme of your reading. You are making a leap in consciousness now. Let go of anything holding you back. And I asked, what are you ascending? In what area of your life are you ascending in? And I got Dragon Rider, Epic, Companion, Fire Breathing, and Legend. This feels like you learned something about yourself, maybe something historical, something from the past. Okay, there's a story or a narrative that you've been convincing yourself of or hearing over and over again, and it's kind of become a part of how you see yourself and understand yourself, but now you're realizing there's something else in there. There's something more powerful about you than you realized before, or maybe you already knew it, but now it's like you're seeing something, or you're getting some information, or you're just connecting with that part of you at a deeper level. Like I'm hearing dragons, not dinosaurs. Okay, it's like, you've been convinced of something for so long and you figure out like maybe it was actually something else. Okay, that's the feeling. So you're ascending into a position of being a legend, being a champion. I mean, that sounds good for Aries, right? You're conquering something, a fear perhaps. There's like a bold energy coming through that is stripped of any kind of fear that you've been trying to tell yourself that you don't have, but that has been there. So then I asked, okay, what's this ascending about? Where are you going? And I got the long game strategy, which I just love for you, Aries, because Aries energy in general is kind of impulsive. We know that. I mean, not saying you are. Everybody is an individual depending on their birth chart and everything. But I like this because it feels like new energy. It feels like you realize everything that's happened up until this point, everything I've been working on, even the failures I've had, the setbacks, it's all been part of achieving something in the long term. I'm playing the long game. It's like you realize that. There's a realization that this is, whatever this is, this thing you've been working on, this relationship you've been in, this struggle you've been going through, this relationship you're getting out of, whatever it is for you, it's like an understanding of this is part of the long game. This move, everything, it's part of your ascension. And this is why you're appearing as riding on a dragon, because you're going a distance. It's a long game, a long journey that you're on, and you have some help getting there, some support, and some magic, and protection, and strategy too. So the strategy is very important as well. Like you're putting a plan in place. Okay, stick to it even in the struggle. Okay, some of those struggles are necessary for the long-term success. I'm seeing this like jumbled up kind of knotted diagram, and it's like that's how success looks. It's not just an upward trajectory, right? It's messy. It's all over the place. The answer that you're seeking comes by unknotting something, but first it needs to get into a knot. Okay, this is what I'm getting. Take it if you want, or don't if you want. Okay, so let's get in further and see what else Spirit wants to say to you, Aries. Tell me about the energy supporting Aries right now. Energy supporting Aries. Perspective, a new perspective, a change in perspective. Now, this card always reminds me of the Hangman, and we know the Hangman is about gaining a new perspective. But often what's forgotten about the Hangman is that perspective comes from sacrifice. Often from being on the outside of a collective energy or a group of people, having a different opinion, and kind of being lambasted for it or being criticized for it. But the Hangman is willing to sacrifice collective acceptance in order to gain a new perspective. And that's the energy supporting you. So you are becoming a legend, a champion, going on an epic journey. A long-term goal is like enacted. It's currently unfolding as we speak. Okay, I'm hearing as you hear something about like I'm seeing strings. I don't know, energy strings, something. like weaving of strings. I don't know. Okay. So you're weaving something together, perhaps. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. So let's see what's challenging you. And this is also you reclaiming a lost narrative from your history, from your past. There's something about you being sharp as a whip. Okay. Communication is the challenge. So you might feel like you have something to share, a business plan, a proposal, some words of encouragement, some downloads you received, some, I don't know, something. You want to communicate something, but it feels like maybe no one's listening or people aren't receiving what you're saying. Not really. Communication and the challenge. Okay. Tell me more about this new perspective for Aries. You could be experiencing like technological stuff going on with communication, just like weird things, almost like, you know, when we say Mercury retrograde, like stuff like that. Yeah. I'm also seeing you, Spirit giving you advice here to listen to what someone else has to say from a new perspective. Okay? Try to get out of your typical behavioral pattern in the way that you perceive things and what you hear. Okay? Because usually when we're listening to someone and we're interested in what they have to say, we come to that communication with preloaded assumptions over what certain words mean or certain tones mean or certain facial expressions mean. You know, we have a whole history that we draw on to make our decisions of what something actually means. And I feel Spirit saying here that try to put some of those habits you have aside of how you read people or how you listen to people and see if you can see or hear what they're saying from a different point of view or with fresh ears. Because it might help you. It's not necessarily that you're misinterpreting something. It's more like there's something you need to hear that would help you understand something at a deeper level, but you have to be open to hearing something in a different way. Okay, I don't know if that's going to make sense for all of you right now. Maybe when you get into a conversation with someone soon and significant, that will be top of your mind, or at least try to keep it top of your mind. What is it that I might not be hearing that they're saying? Keep that question in mind, because there's something there that Spirit wants you to see or hear, discover. Make that part of your strategy, a strategy around communication, but not just how you communicate, but how you receive communication. Okay? I actually feel like with the fire-breathing dragon here, it might be the best course of action right now to try to be in an energy of receiving communication more than giving communication. Perhaps you let someone else do most of the talking. Or if there's an argument, just listen and ask questions more than you try to prove your side of whatever the argument's about. Or if there's a business deal, let them present whatever offer they have first. Okay, let someone else do the talking first. Okay, let's see for Aries. Tell me more about this perspective, Spirit, for Aries. Some of you are traveling a lot, or you're going to. I'm hearing global. Okay, let's see the perspective. That card wanted to come through too. Page of Swords, which is a new perspective, and Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, this feels like patience and listening and hearing out something. It's like allowing someone to just kind of go at it. Maybe this is even observing what someone's doing. Seven of Pentacles is like consistent effort, consistent work, trying to grow something, but maybe needing to move on from that. Someone could be repeating themselves. And there's something important in that repetition. The repetition may vary slightly every time they repeat. And take note of what's changing. Okay? This feels like very situational specific. Okay? But I'm seeing you take notes here. Okay. Let's see what is going on with communication as the challenge. Why is communication a challenge? What's challenging about it, Spirit? Page of Cups and Queen of Wands. With the Page of Cups, immediately I got someone can't get out of their perspective. Well, maybe it's you, because that was the advice, is try to get out of your perspective. The Page of Cups. It's like this person is listening to someone talk, right? And look at her face. She's like, yeah, I've heard this before. You gonna say anything interesting here? But this creature coming out of her cup doesn't look like a creature of receptivity. You know, this looks like shadow, maybe. So somebody's not really listening. And maybe that's why you shouldn't do the talking first. Queen of Wands. Some of you could need a mediator with something, or like a buffer. A buffer in your communication. Like I'm seeing here, what do you call it? Like an auto reply on an email. Now, I'm not saying literally you need to do an auto reply, but it's that image that Spirit's showing me is like, so you don't have to be beholden to someone immediately. There's like a buffer. Interesting energy. Queen of Wands. You have something to offer, and someone might not see that. What do you want to say about that? It's like you come to someone with an offer of something, or something you've created, invented, or a proposal, or like maybe you're sharing your feelings with someone, or some truth you're exposing, and it's like they don't really understand what you're saying or what you're sharing and how significant it actually is. Four of Swords and the Eight of Cups. Exactly. It's like they can't comprehend it, or they're just not open to it. Maybe they're a little bit snooty in a sense, where they feel like you don't have something here to offer. I feel like, again, we need to go back to this message here from Spirit that you're playing the long game, that you're ascending, and that you're going to be, I keep wanting to say you're going to be a legend here. So most legends, or I'm hearing entrepreneurs, you don't have to be that, but most people who forge their own path and are looked up to at some point usually had a rough start where people tried to discredit them all over the place and tried to tell them that they weren't who they really are. And I feel like that's something here that you may face, or that you're currently facing. You might also be having trouble communicating with a child or someone younger than you. Try to think about why they're in that energy. Like, try to see the communication from a different perspective. Or someone's just acting childlike. Listen past the words. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got here for Aries? I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, because I did say weaving with the strings here, and I'm seeing the spider. Okay, I'm going to take these cards. Ooh, interesting. The Magician at the bottom. Hey, okay. And look, I mean, this is a bat, I think, but we've got these kinds of wings going on in your reading. Dragon, bat. Creatures that are usually associated with shadow and fear, but actually serve very important purposes and functions and are very intuitive. and magical. Okay, so this could be something about yourself that others aren't really understanding right now. You could be facing some kind of criticism. Okay, Wheel of Fortune for your overall energy. Here you are weaving the strings. Okay, beautiful. Putting something together. You're attracting something. You're making the web and the spider's coming. Okay, this is very important. You're building something right now. It's important you stay with it, stick with it. If you take breaks, cool. Come back to it though. Tell me more about this Wheel of Fortune turning for Aries. Eight of Swords, Eight of Swords, King of Wands, and 10 of Pentacles. You've told your anxieties to take a back seat. And you did have quite a few, okay? They were pretty intense. You went through it. There has been some difficult times here. Times which you felt all alone. And that you were kind of watching things pass you by. Maybe the world pass you by. Maybe a little sense of like depersonalization or like derealization. Like, whoa, what's going on out there? I don't feel grounded. But I don't know what you did. You took some kind of action here with the King of Wands to squash that, to not let that anxiety rule over your life, to work through it, to learn from it, and to focus on your path with the 10 of Pentacles. To seek spiritual support as well. Okay, so right now, the wheel that you are making, the web that you are making is your 10 of Pentacles. It's your long-term stability and security, and family too, and long-term relationships, all of that, but also ascension. The 10 of Pentacles is ascension. Ascending up the tree of life. And you're doing something to do this. Like you are taking action. It's not just happening. You had to pull yourself up from the bootstraps in a sense and say, forget the Eight of Swords. I can't do that business anymore. Can't be in that energy anymore. We got to get going here. I'm hearing because I matter to myself. Good. Good. This is like, you gave yourself some tough love. And if you're not in this energy now, I feel like you will. It's not Queen of Cups. It's not like you're being hard on yourself and disregarding your anxieties and telling yourself they're invalid. No, your anxieties are valid and they have information and they're telling you things, but you're sensing that they're significant and they've served their purpose. And now it's time to keep excelling. It's almost like you were at a pivot point where you could have totally regressed, but you caught yourself and you said, nope, we're not doing that. We're not going to let ourselves stumble and fall anymore. Okay? And if you feel like you're still down and out, then stick with this reading and wait till we get to the advice. Okay? If you want. Eight of Pentacles for what you don't see coming. Dedication, hard work, perfection, mastery. Long term. The long game, strategy. Owls could be important. Also rabbits, bunnies. Let's see. Tell me more about this Eight of Pentacles. Work smarter, not harder. Six of Swords. Yes, work smarter, not harder. There is something in your reading about you not accepting the familiar story or the stories that people tell, like maybe society's expectations, or people just kind of have like the same pattern that they follow throughout life, or a pattern that's expected of you. Like at this age, you're supposed to be in this stage of your life. At that age, blah, 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 blah. You're not accepting that anymore. You're redefining your path here. What you don't see coming is that you're going to work smarter, not harder. Yes. Okay, so your opportunity is the Two of Wands. A choice. Could be a fork in the road. Choosing a new path. Let's see. Your opportunity, Two of Wands. Some of you are going to visit your childhood street, town, home, something like that. Eight of Wands, yeah. You're moving quickly. As soon as you make your decision which direction you want to move towards in your life or with a certain situation, do it. Give it the energy that it deserves. Okay, Eight of Wands is a lot of energy moving in a very certain direction. It could also be communication. So this could be a decision that you make in regards to communication. Can I get a little bit more of why this is an opportunity? Well, really, you have the opportunity to choose a new path, the devil, and not let other energies or entities choose it for you, and you just ride on their back. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a certain kind of status quo here vibe that you're no longer subscribing to. It's like, I don't really want my life to play out like that. I don't really want these kind of normie things, or that's not really what lifts me up in my soul to walk that path. So I'm going to do things differently. As you should. That's part of your ascension. That's part of being the hangman. That's part of the new perspective and the dragon rider vibe you got going on. Okay, so the challenge is the Ace of Swords. This is a truth. Could also be communication, but let's see. It feels like you kind of go on this long journey or trip, and then at the end, you have something to say. But let's see. Ace of Swords for the challenge. For Aries. There could be Aquarius energy that's significant. The Moon. The truth in the dark. Hold on a second. Not everyone deserves to be in your web. Hear how you're attracting a spider, which is probably an aspect of you or something you're calling towards you. There's also another spider here. I feel like it's a different energy that is seeking a web. So someone might want to partner with you or be around you a lot or profit off of something that you're doing. And I feel like it might be hard to see that. Maybe there's some emotions here involved or some guilt narrative they're pushing. I'm not really sure. Let's see what else we can get with a challenge. Something is definitely not clear here about someone's intentions or what they're saying. What is this? Knight of Cups, frog, I noticed right away. And the Nine of Pentacles. It feels like, see, you've built something up for yourself. Somebody could be requesting something of you that's just not possible. So don't waste your energy trying to make it happen. Okay? No, it's not that you have limitations, but you're allowed to set them if you want. Okay, so maybe you need to limit somebody's requests on you. Or it's like you give someone something and they want to take a mile. You give them an inch, they want to take a mile. Like I'm seeing you as this person here giving a reading, being able to impart knowledge and wisdom and offer something. Maybe with the Nine of Pentacles, it's agency, sovereignty. You know, it's like you're helping someone out. But they want you to turn this frog into a prince for them. I don't know. That could be a very specific message. But there's something going on here where someone's asking you something that just can't be done. And I wouldn't try to do it. Because not all is what it seems here. That's very specific, but that's what I'm getting for the challenge. Queen of Swords, you're right. You may need to be harsh about this. I'm hearing start harsh boundaries. Like this is that auto reply. Like I'm not accessible to you at all times. Yeah, someone might not accept a boundary that you put down or a no that you give. Okay, so just be firm with what you really want to do, because you're the one weaving the web. Okay, and there's only one spider per web here. And it's like this person wants to join in, which can be fine sometimes, but there's something with the moon and the Ace of Swords that you can't see right now about this person or this situation, and some unreasonable ask they have of you. The Emperor for your advice, your major arcana, your ascending power, bravery, strategy. He sure looks like he's strategizing, or she, I'm not sure. There's, hold on. What is this Emperor? The Sun. I'm getting that there's something ambiguous here, and then the Sun came through, which is definitely clearing up any ambiguity. I'm getting an accent. Somebody might have an accent. The High Priestess. Oh, so you're sensing something. I don't know what the Tower. Yeah, you're sensing something about a situation. I don't know what it is for everyone. Okay, it's something to do with what you're building or someone you meet on that path, or maybe it's this Page of Cups here who's not really listening, but you have an intuition about who they are, what they're capable of, what their intentions are, but you don't know how to act, or you don't know what to do about it. It feels like Spirit is saying here with the Emperor, you need to collect more information. This is why listening is so important. See this Emperor? He's really paying attention to what someone is saying or what someone's doing. He's really looking rather than showing. And this is how whatever you need to see gets revealed. It's pretty clear the advice is to observe the perspective, the new perspective, because you sense something intuitively. But what is this? Okay, that's great, Spirit, but but what is it? What's going on here? Open your eyes, awakening, and cut the cord, independence. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles again. See, it's like there's some kind of partnership or somebody who wants to tag along. Maybe you haven't met them quite yet, but there's something incongruent with your energies. There's only one saddle on this dragon, okay? And you're on it. Yeah, so you need to open your eyes and awaken to cutting the cord with someone or something that makes you feel like you're dependent on them or you need to run things by them. It would be much better if you did it alone, or you had more independence in the situation, or that you maintain your independence. Okay, I'm going to tell you the outcome, but I'm also going to do an extended reading. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper, see what else is underneath all of this. If you're interested in that, the link is in the description box below. I'll probably also post it in the comments. If you don't want to go to the extended, you don't like that idea, don't feel like this is incomplete. Trust that Spirit knew you weren't going to go to an extended and gave you personally all the information that you needed, okay? So Knight of Wands for the outcome. This is a very curious Knight of Wands to me, because we always say the fastest moving knight in the deck, right? But here he's on some stilts and he seems to be very nervous and taking slow baby steps. So the outcome could be, I'm going to verify, Joy, I'm seeing at the bottom, but things are moving quickly in the grand scheme of things, but to you, it may feel very slow. It may feel like you're taking baby steps, but that's because you're in the long game, okay? So some little steps may need to be taken before you can make big leaps, and that's okay. That's actually preferred here for the energy you're in. This is how you gain the perspective too. See how he's looking down at every step he's taking. you're paying attention to where you're going and what you're doing. And you're being careful about it, which is a good thing here. Okay, so tell me more about the Knight of Wands. I'm going to try to figure out more about this communication, Page of Cups, and the extended, I think. Tell me more about the Knight of Wands energy for the outcome, baby steps, but moving forward. Ten of Wands. Yeah, I have this feeling of frustration, and that's why the message is coming out so encouraging for you, that you are ascending, that you are becoming more significant and important than you realize in this moment. A legend, okay, a fire-breathing legend. But it's not easy to get there. Okay, this is what you're achieving and creating for yourself on your path does require hard work. And not everybody will do what you're doing because it is hard work. Because at times it feels like the journey's long and things are going slowly. That's why others will just abandon the path entirely. But you won't, or you shouldn't. Because there is real big success for you here, 10 of Pentacles. Okay? So that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that helped. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.